What is going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video review. Today we're going to take a look at Thanos Battle Damage version from Hot Toys, and you can order this at bigbadtoystore.com. I'll put the link down below. I do have the previous two, but can't resist it. Gotta get this one. I'm closer though to completing, well, in my eyes, I guess, completing the Endgame / Infinity War line. So this is just an addition. I think I just need, for now, all I can think of is Captain Marvel. And, I'm waiting for a good price for that, but we'll see. But now I got this guy. I've always wanted to have him because of his stand. It's very unique. I love it. And the look, because if I do have, for the most part, majority of the figures from the Endgame, and he's the perfect fit, having fighting those guys, because that's what happened towards the end of the movie. I do have the clean version, but I've always felt like this is more appropriate, to display, take pictures of this version compared to that. I mean, you could do either. I just felt that, with that broken sword or whatever you call that, it just looks nicer in my opinion. But hey, look at this guy right here, and this is one of those things that it's nice. It's broken compared to the clean version. The clean version, I'm gonna do a comparison as well for all the Thanos, because I do have the Infinity War version as well. I think I'm gonna keep all of them for now, but eventually I see myself keeping the Infinity War in either this or the clean version. I'm leaning towards this, but I'm not gonna sell the clean version now. I mean, that has worth nothing. And you can see here, it comes with two head sculpt. Both of them are pretty bloody, battle damage, and this is the unique head sculpt that you will get. The kind of like shocked look, and we'll take a closer look on all these things that he comes with. Infinity gauntlet as well, or nano gauntlet, so to speak. You got the helmet that is broken as well. Gotta rewatch that entire scene again, give me more ideas. And this is the snapping version of that nano gauntlet, and you saw earlier it comes with a separate hand which has movable fingers and accessories. Let's take a look at them. Open palm hands, kind of like a grabbing finger hand. This is the weapon holding hand, and he comes with a helmet that is, as you can see here, battle damage. It has some wear and tear on it. It even has a broken, you can see that the tip of his faceplate right there has some dings, some dents in the helmet, very nicely painted, I would say. And then moving along here, this is his, let me know in the comments, what do you call this thing? A dagger, or not a dagger, a sword? Yeah, whatever the case is, it's broken. It's nice. I honestly, I think, is it from the shield? Is that where he broke this? Nicely painted and detailed as well, kind of like the other one that I do have. The hand is a bit of a pain to insert, so once I did, it's not coming off. It feels like you are gonna damage the paint of the hand every time you insert this, so I want to keep on doing that. I just want to do it one time and not mess with it ever again. And this is the different hand of the nano gauntlet. This is where you see the stones in. When he snapped, the stones were not there. You can see that and then this is the snapping one. That one is, the light shines through. This one does not, obviously, because there's no more stones in it. But you got that snapping gesture. And this is the rest of the gauntlet. As you can see here, it's dented. It's heavily damaged. And that's beautiful. And the head sculpt, which we're going to take a look at later on, and this base right here, which I do love. Wrong positioning of the pole though, because you only can display him while standing on those two rocks. However, I have a totally different idea when it comes to these pieces, where I'm going to use this for my photography. Not gonna display this to have Thanos stand here at all, but instead I am gonna use this for different figures and showcases and all that stuff, because hey, it is beautiful. I would say you can see here it's nice and hefty as well when you hold it. Nicely painted and done, and even the crotch grabber is transparent. Again, it's just if you only have one Thanos, it's just not, I would say, the most ideal stand. But in the armor, as you can see here, I'm looking at my other armor as well. It has a lot of damage in it. Paint scuffs, dents and dings. Like, it has been crumpled for the most part, his armor, and mostly because of Scarlet Witch. If you remember that scene, she was pressing him, with her powers. And it shows. It shows with how crumpled the armor is, and he has bloods all over his body. You can see his arm. And it's nice when you have a battle damage piece like this. And the shoulder pads is magnetic, by the way, that goes on and off. Because you can drop this and you won't notice that, because since it's heavily damaged, you won't notice that it is, dinged. So all over. And for the most part, even for Iron Man or whatever the case is, I do have a soft spot when it comes to battle damage. I don't know. For me, it just feels more, it has more flair. Like it tells a story where he's been in a battle and he's, damaged. But yeah, I mean, I like it better. Going up here, you can see his boots. From his thigh armors, it looks nice, and they are all movable as well. And I don't know if you can see, but he does have like a spandex type of material underneath, so you could move the legs and not be worried about issues, so to speak. And on the back, I'm not gonna lie, look, the black part looks a lot plasticky. That one, I do admit, not the best work of Hot Toys in terms of battle damaging that, but look at his arm, with those bloods and bruises. Looks pretty nice. Again, his gauntlet, or has scuffs, and it looks leather. They're plastic, but it gives you that illusion, which is pretty good for me. Going down this way, you can see his boots, which is split cut boot as well. And the unique head sculpt, I would say, that is, he looks more defeated. And tell me that doesn't look like the film. That is beautiful. You just didn't see the teeth on that image, but I gotta enhance it a little bit because it's kind of like low res. You're watching this in 4K, but I've always been a fan of their Thanos head sculpt dating back to Infinity War. I think Thanos is one of their best head sculpts in terms of accuracy. I've seen statues and all that stuff, but I still maintain that Hot Toys is up there. And their price compared to those companies are way below, as far as the pricing point. But the quality that the head sculpt they produced, especially for this Thanos, is unbelievable. And this guy is, after he realized that he lost, more of a defeated look from Thanos compared to the angry and stern look of Infinity War and the clean version. So for battle damage, it offers something new. And if you want to recreate that scene where he's sitting, this is the perfect chance. And you could put the helmet on him. I don't think it's appropriate, though. I mean, you could, but for me, non-helmeted is the way to go. Now, obviously, battle damage Thanos, this is the head sculpt that you want to use when you have him fighting other members of the Avengers, where he's fighting Cap or Thor or Iron Man. This is the look to go because he's angry. His teeth is, is clinging to each other there, and he's about to fight. And it's appropriate. This one, it's the same head sculpt that we have gotten before from Infinity War and the clean version. The only difference is that you see that he does have blood and all that stuff in his face. Some scratches, a lot of blood too, some bruises here and there, but it's beautiful. You have him here, or you can include the helmet as well. There's a little room in his chin / neck area, so there's not a whole lot of movement, honestly, but it's enough. Thanos itself has, decent articulation, which we'll tackle later on, but this is more appropriate when you put the helmet on. I would say, like when he's fighting Cap, like I mentioned earlier, you could use this. I would never display him with a defeated look with the helmet on. Let's just put it this way. But this looks nice. I'm a big fan of this helmet as well. It looks pretty cool, to be honest with you. Going around here, I like the paint application here. The black part always feels like, somebody took a lighter and just kind of like light it up. And it kind of seems plasticky, but it doesn't bother me at all. It's just an observation. I'm not complaining about it, but I love the overall look of the Battle Damage Thanos. This head sculpt or the original one. Heading into articulation, so I mentioned earlier the neck / head area has some movements. This is ratcheted, so you could pull it up and down, and you can see the ratchet joints in there. You can hear it. You can bend the elbows. Of course, there's not going to be a whole lot of articulation when it comes to this. You can put him in a snapping pose, but you run the risk of basically messing this one up. As you can see there, it's made out of rubber, so if you do that for a long period of time, I'm sure you are gonna damage that arm. Now there's some waist movement, as you can see. Yes, he does have an armor, but beneath that there's a body that you could turn. The legs are articulated as well, but in a ratchet joint, and you can bend the knee. But you can see the armor pieces, the black pieces out there, is also pulling and tugging. So again, you gotta be careful leaving them in that pose for a long period of time. If you're trying to preserve this, proceed with caution, as I would say. And now let's put him in some poses. Now putting him in this pose, you can raise his arm, which is fine, but you see the bend on the elbow. Again, this entire shot would last 30 seconds, so I wasn't worried, but I wouldn't leave him in that right hand pose for a long time. As you can see there, it's you run the risk. It's up to you how much risk you want to take, because you could remove the arm. This is him pre-snap, so you could see that the gauntlet does light up. Pretty sure you could see it on the other turnaround here, that he's kind of mad. He's about to snap. He's looking at his gauntlet. He finally got it, and it is lit up. The lights are pretty bright. I'm sure you can see at least the yellow stone is lit up there, and you got his shoulder pads as well. And then this is him post snap. About to snap. And I put the other head sculpt, realizing that even if he does snap, he does not have the stones anymore. So that's why I included this kind of like a surprised / defeated look. And if you have other, which I don't have a big turntable, that's why I didn't incorporate other Avengers, plus I was just lazy. But I will at some video, I will. And just size comparison here. So Thanos is pretty big. So now he is next to the quarter scale Mandalorian, which I just recently got. And Thanos is 1/6. Mandalorian is quarter scale, and they're almost, same height with the shoulders and all that stuff. So obviously he's going to be a little shorter, but you can see how he is towering over another 1/6 figure in Vision. That I also got recently, member of the Avengers, but he is a presence in your collection, and yeah, that's pretty cool. Love this look of Thanos. Like I said earlier, probably the wrong background here, because you want Thanos is clean when you got that background when he went to Gamora's place, but nonetheless, this is how he looks like in a base. And my final thoughts on this Battle Damage Thanos is it's amazing. No regrets on picking this up. I love this figure. If I had to sell one, it's probably gonna be the clean version. But if you can only own one, I don't know. This would go well as a posing Thanos to opposing Avengers figure. It just has this for me. Now, what one thing it lacks, I would say, is the stern look, which is honestly my preferred look, because it just gives so much presence, but it doesn't have that. I wish it did came with a smiling sculpt though, instead of the defeated look, because the smiling one is when he's about to, snap his finger, and it gives Thanos a bit more confidence, compared to the defeated look, which I also do like. That, but I understand why they went for that as well. So either way, I think it's a very good figure. The base is phenomenal. The overall look, the armor, the battle damage on his body and his face adds to the character and also to the entire endgame scene, compared to the clean one where it does have the Infinity Gauntlet, but I think he only used that for a brief moment in time in the movie. So accuracy wise, this is more accurate, but the other one has a different presence as well. So either way, you can't go wrong. But let me know in the comments how you feel about this. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you in the next one.